WWE today made a major announcement that is going to change the future of the company for years to come. We are going to talk about the WWE ID program, what it means, and how it will indeed shape the future of the company for potentially the next few generations. We're also going to talk about the big thing that everyone wants to know: is Bill Goldberg returning to WWE, and will it happen this weekend at the Saudi show? All that and much more coming up right here in this video. So be sure to smash that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. All right, let's talk about this WWE ID program. Currently, one of the few ways that WWE has to develop talent is through NXT in the Performance Center, but it does look like that could change with this historic announcement. Here it is, press release, hot off the presses today by WWE. WWE today announced the launch of a first-of-its-kind developmental program designed to provide up-and-coming independent wrestlers a pathway to a potential WWE or career in WWE, The program will be called WWE ID, short for Independent Development. WWE ID is the latest in our efforts to identify and support the journey of up-and-coming wrestlers, in turn raising the profiles and strengthening the independent wrestling ecosystem, said WWE Chief Content Officer Paul Triple H Levesque. Following the 2021 launch of WWE's NIL program, WWE ID has been constructed to support independent wrestling prospects and wrestling schools with world-class training and development, and mentorship program. We will come back to the rest of that as they list out the programs that they are actually going to be partnering with for this endeavor. But people are going to ask, why is this historic? Why does this matter? It matters greatly because for the longest time, the biggest pipeline that WWE had for their talent was through NXT. It seems like for the past decade, they've heavily relied on that. And in many ways, they've also brought in people from the indie scene, but there has never been a direct kind of flow in the way that this WWE ID program will seemingly have. Because through this, not only are you going to be able to get eyes on people as they begin training, not just when they make it big in ROH, they make it big in TNA, they make it big elsewhere. You are going to get eyes on new prospects, have the ability to scout prospects while they are still training at wrestling school. And it's completely different from the NIL program, which is in a large part what NXT has become. A lot of the latest round of NXT prospects, are starting to come in from that NIL program. They are people who used to play football. They're people who used to be athletes in basketball, whatever, and they are coming from a completely different pipeline. They are not necessarily coming up and training to be professional wrestlers. Through this, they are covering, the people that understand wrestling, that have that background, that are training to become professional wrestlers, but may need a bit of work as far as their character, may need a bit of work as far as reps in the ring and for television. So you're kind of doing with the NIL deal, you're getting those raw athletes that have the potential to be big-time stars, but through this WWE ID program, you have the potential to get eyes on people before they make it big so that, instead of ROH or AEW or whoever getting their hands on someone who is developing, they are able to as well, and they're able to scout those people. Now, this is where it gets interesting because there is a list of a couple of schools that are actually going to be partnering with WWE for that, and some of these schools may sound familiar. The press release goes on to say, under the program, WWE will provide prominent independent wrestling schools with the WWE ID official designation with the goal of providing new trainees and existing talent at the select institutions with enhanced developmental opportunities. Booker T's Reality of Wrestling in Houston, Cody Rhodes' Nightmare Factory in Atlanta, Seth Rollins' Black and Brave Academy in Davenport, Iowa, Elite Pro Wrestling Training Center in Concord, New Hampshire, and Knox X Pro Academy, Los Angeles are the first WWE ID independent wrestling schools to earn the official designation. Additionally, WWE ID will identify top independent wrestling prospects with an official WWE ID prospect designation and support their development journey by providing financial opportunity and assisting with the training, mentorship, and development, including access to world-class facilities, best-in-class ring training, athletic trainers, and more. WWE ID will give fans the opportunity to follow the paths of these standout prospects on the independent wrestling scene through curated behind-the-scenes content, as well as highlights and matches showcased across WWE platforms. In other words, WWE has gone all the way in trying to cut out the middleman as much as possible here, and I think that is the goal. Cut out the other independent wrestling schools, cut out all that stuff, and make the pipeline for wrestling direct to WWE. And it is, in many ways, what you're seeing happening across, or what you've seen happen, across a lot of college football programs here in the States, or I think it's even more similar to the pipelines you have to big, football, soccer institutions across the pond in Europe and elsewhere. Because for a lot of those prospects, especially in soccer/football, you have people who sign contracts as prospects at a very early age, and especially early on in their journeys, and they're kind of within the Barcelona, the FC Barcelona, or they are in Real Madrid, or whatever, right? They are in that program until they kind of get into the big time, or they fizzle out, right? That's kind of what tends to happen. And I think for WWE, this is their way of putting that designated WWE ID tag on a potential prospect, saying, all right, we're going to give it X amount of years. We are going to allow you not only to have access to some of our facilities, maybe the performance center and different things, but also when we need like an extra enhancement talent, when we need a talent, for a fill-in prospect, whatever, you are going to be the people that we go to. And that is essential, because for the longest time, one of the problems with trying to make it big in North America was trying to compete and get airtime in a very competitive market. And for WWE, allowing, this and opening this up, I think is going to work. And I think this is just a start. These 5 schools are not just going to be the schools they go with for the long term. I think you're going to see expansions because, they hit Atlanta, they hit Davenport, Iowa. So you got the Midwest, you got a bit of the South. You have, Concord up in the Northeast, Texas, and LA, but there's a bunch more like territories that you need to kind of get into. Like the Northwest has a major independent professional wrestling scene. You got Defy going crazy over there. You have, of course, the Northeast, which, I don't think Concord, New Hampshire is enough. I think you have great scenes in Maryland. You have great scenes in New York, obviously, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. I think this is just the beginning of their plans for this WWE ID program. And because of this, I think you're going to see a lot more talent who otherwise would not have had a chance to make it into WWE or raise their profile to potentially be signed for other companies, be able to compete and get visibility, which is really good for the wrestlers. I think that, in many ways, like there's like a give and take as far as whether something's good for wrestling. I do think this is definitely good for the wrestlers, and it'll help a lot of people get exposure for sure. So big news, big day, guys, big savings as well, because if you guys check the link in the description, you guys can save 10% off a Ridge wallet today. Guys, Ridge wallet, I use one. You can see it right here. Very compact wallet, a very great vibe and great aesthetic. I got the leather version, so it gives me the vibe of a wallet, or the wallet that I'm used to, but without all the bulkiness. I don't have to sit on it and realize, oh my God, my back is sore because I've been sitting on my wallet all day. This goes right into my pocket. It's really easy, compact, simple to use. Your cards slide in and out, all that wonderful stuff. And on top of all of that, you guys can save 10% by clicking the link in the description today off a Ridge wallet. This deal expires on Halloween, so you only have a couple more days to take advantage of it. Take advantage of it today. Ridge Wallet, lifetime warranty, fantastic product, grown on me like all hell. I could not say more. Click the link in the description to get your very own Ridge Wallet today. All right, going from one piece of wrestling news to another piece of WWE news. Well, it's still WWE. Let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend, the greatest professional wrestler of all time, according to no one, Bill Goldberg, who has been the talk of the town ever since he appeared at Bad Blood, confronted Gunther. There's speculation that it could be him versus Gunther for the WWE the WWE World's Heavyweight Championship. Got to get used to that. So what's going on? Will Gunther be at the Saudi show this weekend? Well, we have an update, and the answer is, according to PW Insider, Goldberg is not slated to be in Saudi Arabia at WWE Crown Jewel this weekend. Whatever WWE has planned for Goldberg and Gunther down the line, they are not currently furthering that story this weekend with Goldberg in person. So that is the answer to the question a lot of people have had. There was, a lot of worry by people like me who are like, oh my God, do not feed Gunther to Goldberg. Because immediately what everyone thinks when Goldberg enters a wrestling ring is, are they going to have him beat this guy? Because that has happened before. You go back, look in 2020, just a couple of years ago, The Fiend, who was as hot as he's ever been, was a killer, literally, in the ring, lost the Universal Championship for no apparent reason to Goldberg in a story that went nowhere outside of the fact that Goldberg said he could not lose because the kids viewed him as a superhero, which is the biggest crock of crap I've ever heard. But regardless, that's how Goldberg viewed himself. He was able to politic his way into that position. And the worry is, by many people, could Goldberg be able to, not necessarily politic, but would WWE choose him to beat Gunther when Gunther is at his hottest? And for my taste and my view, I think you keep Gunther as far away from Goldberg as possible. I thought if it's a standalone thing that they did at Bad Blood because Goldberg's from Atlanta, that's where the show was, and they just want to get heat on Gunther, that's fine. That's fine. Get the big pop in Atlanta, although a lot of people were a lot of booze, let me tell you. But I just don't think that Goldberg versus Gunther should be a priority for WWE right now. I just don't see it as a big thing. Like, unless he squashes Goldberg. If he squashes Goldberg, that'd be fine with me. That would put Gunther over. I think it's about damn time that Goldberg gets like a good squash in him. But we'll see what happens there. Let me know, guys, in the comment section what you guys think. Do you want to see Gunther versus Goldberg? Should WWE pull the trigger and make Goldberg the WWE Championship once again? Please don't let that happen. Also, let me know what you guys think about this WWE ID program. Do you think it's good for the product? Do you think it's good for the wrestlers? Do you hate it? Let me know. Also, be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released.